Let's go to the beautiful Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania where Elizabeth joins us. Elizabeth, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, how are you?
I am living the dream. Elizabeth, what's going on?
I am a federal employee, and I keep applying for new federal positions because I'd like to move up. Most jobs that I apply for have some kind of questionnaire where they list like multiple choice options, and you have to select which applies to you. And the problem is that if I don't get those questions exactly correct, they never even get a chance to look at my resume or cover letter. I have experience, education, and I try to show I have a good work ethic by constantly taking on extra work and other duties. Is there some kind of trick to selecting the right answers or getting noticed? Because when I look at the multiple choice, almost every single option applies to me, and it's just a matter of, multiple choice, picking which one it might be is the right answer.
And no matter what, you're clearly not answering it to the optimal answers for them, so they're kicking you out.
There is no all the above.
Yeah. Well, this is my problem with the federal government. If the federal government can basically screw up anything it chooses, and almost without fail, they just make everything so much more difficult because it's a bunch of bureaucrats and they don't think like real business people. They just don't. And so I don't have an answer as to how you're supposed to score the right way because this is a pre-screen. And so I just spent a bunch of time talking about the proximity principle, and I go, does that work in the federal government? I don't even know. Meaning, if you had all these great connections for a government job, a federal government job, and you had the right connections for the hiring manager or whatever to get to them, would they still make you take that stupid screening thing?
Yeah, it's pretty much standard procedure. You have to go through the screening thing. And the problem is that the answers could all apply potentially to that job, and they write them so complicated that all of those answers could apply to my experience. So I wasn't sure if there's some kind of secret trick to maybe getting noticed beyond that.
Okay. Well, the trick is the proximity principle, where relationships get you to somebody and they go, and they know you're really sharp, and you go, but here's the deal. The pre-screen thing keeps kicking me out. And they're going to have to go, oh gosh. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So the only thing that I can tell you is that in the real world, and I'm saying everything but the federal government, I'd find out who the hiring manager is. And I'd find out, do you know anybody that knows that person? And yeah, you're looking to get around the system, and people get around the system every day. You know it and I know it. And the way they get around the system is through relationships. They'll move you to the top. It's the only way I know how. So that's the only way. But I'm curious to know, forget the federal government position. What's the work you want to do? Describe it.
I work in law enforcement, so I'd like to stay somewhere in that. I have a master's degree. I'm really good at training new people, and I like teaching in general.
So what's the dream job? Teaching other law enforcement officers? Preparing them to get in the field?
Some kind of employee development.
Well, why are you limiting yourself to the federal government?
I've already put in 5 years. I like the benefits, and I enjoy the flexibility of being able to never start over again and always have the seniority and my time off and different kind of things like that, where I can move cross country if I want to and still basically have the same job.
Okay, so that's
always really appealed to me.
Okay, all right. But you understand you're painting yourself in your own corner. Because that's your answer is about benefits and seniority as opposed to the work. But that's fine. I'm not saying that's a wrong answer. I just want you to hear yourself say that, because now you've limited yourself. So my question is, 5 years, are you in federal law enforcement now?
Yes.
All right. So
I've been in there for 5 years.
Right. So I don't understand why you're going through this silly screening when you're already in. Are you trying to change departments?
I'm trying to move up, so for a promotion.
Yeah, but in the same field.
The same field, same agency.
Oh, okay. Well,
I still have to take the pre-screen.
Yeah, but have you talked to your immediate supervisor?
I have.
And
it's the same answer. It's you have to know the answers to the question.
Oh, okay. All right, we could have saved several minutes here. So is this a study guide somewhere?
Nope, not that I know of.
Okay. So this is totally different. All right. I knew it, though. This is classic federal government. I just need to rant for a second, Elizabeth, on your behalf.
You're fine.
You've been in this agency for 5 years and you just simply want a promotion, and they're basically saying you got to pass this screening test and there is no study guide. You just got to figure it out.
Yes.
You realize how stupid that is? There's no way for you to learn the actual answer. Do we want you to know the answer, or do we want you to win the test lottery?
I don't know. I guess it's kind of all luck.
Well, it's silly. So your options are keep taking it. And you better talk to somebody who's passed it and figure it out. I don't know if that's considered.
I've talked to a couple people who passed other jobs that I've applied for and kind of figured out the type of answers they want for the questions. But the last one I applied for was a brand new position. They just started.
Well,
so nobody had gone through it.
Are there any limitations to how many times you can take it?
Nope. Once per, when they open the position, it's once per application. So once per opening. So when they close it, I would have to reapply again for a different position once they open a new position.
Well, then, as is par for the course, the federal government has already locked you into what your options are. So if that's what you want to do and you want to stay in the federal government, law enforcement, you got to play by their rules. I think it's stupid, their rules. I think it's ridiculous, their rules. I think it's discouraging, their rules. And if I were you, I'd reassess this desire that is driven by benefits and seniority and go, is there a better path for me? Because what I heard, Elizabeth, is that you enjoy instruction. Specifically, you enjoy instructing and training law enforcement officers, and I'll bet you could do that in the private sector or on the state level, and it might be a lot easier. I certainly could be wrong because I don't know, okay? And I want to say that, my giant asterisk, but I would be looking for better alternatives, and could you train private security guards and do something like that and make some really good dough because of your background in federal law enforcement? Because, see, you love the instructing and the training, so it certainly is worth kicking the tires somewhere else. And the federal benefits aren't all they're cracked up to be. That's my 2 cents, because I want you to be happy. If you keep doing it this way and you keep getting kicked out because of the weird way they've got these questions answered, they're missing out on a really great trainer, and shame on them. And you're going to resent this process. You're going to resent them if you're not already there, and that's not healthy. So that's my 2 cents.